What's up, everybody? I want to tell you about Anchor. If you haven't heard about Anchor by Spotify, it's one of the easiest ways to make a podcast with everything you need all in one place. Let me explain. Anchor has tools that allow you to record and edit your podcast right from your phone or computer. When hosting Anchor on Anchor, you can distribute your podcast on listening platforms like Spotify, Apple Podcasts, and more. It's everything you need to make a podcast in one place. And best of all, Anchor is totally free. So download Anchor, the app, or go to anchor.fm to get started. And I'm a veteran, so let's hear some more military cadences. What's up, family? I gotta take a sip on this. It is gonna be my last TikTok of the year. My last podcast of the year. I think, unless I'm feeling happy or something, which I'm always happy, but like talking. I'm all just jacked up right now because I just got off the craziest TikTok thing, and they was talking about some crazy stuff, y'all. This lady was talking about using a strap-on on a man, and she was wanting to do it. And these are not young people. They were young. And I was I'm discombobulated right now because I literally just got out of that. They were talking about milking and if you don't know what none of that mean, I don't know what to tell y'all. I've never done it, none of this stuff. My husband is not letting me play around down there. But there's some freaky deaky people out there, y'all. And I mean, y'all having fun. So, and like I said, they weren't no spring chickens. I'm not going to put them on blast because I could have played it for y'all, but I think it might be too much for y'all ears because I was like, what is going on right now? Like, guy said he went down on a girl and her butt was bitter. And so when I came on and said TikTok, I was tripping because I just couldn't believe it. All right. So you guys' favorite guy, Andrew Tate. I've never really knew much about the guy. I know he said some quotes about stuff like that. But anyway, I'm still discombobulated for what I just heard. Okay, let's get it together. So Andrew Tate and his brother were arrested today for human trafficking charges. He is, like I said, famously known for telling men to man up, stuff like that. Let's play it.
They'd say that the U.S. Embassy in Bucharest, Romania, was tipped off to your misdeeds and alerted the local authorities you might be committing human trafficking. Given that this is the same charge they leveled against Julian Assange or a species of it, skeptical, but I want to know the details. Were you arrested for human trafficking? What happened?
Yeah, I was not arrested. So what happened is I suffered from a case of swatting. It's very popular with people who are large on the internet. Many large YouTubers have been swatted. It's where you call the police and you say somebody has a gun or there's a hostage situation and the SWAT team arrives. Somebody made a phone call to the American Embassy saying that I was holding women at my house. The police arrived. And let me state this now. I state this openly to the world. I have absolute respect for the police. I would hate to live in a country where if you call the police saying women are being held against their will, that the police don't respond. That would be terrible. Of course they should come and look. Absolutely. They turned up. They investigated. They realized that nobody was in the house against their will. There was no crime committed. They said, okay, you're not a suspect, but you are a witness to this, along with me, my brother, the housekeeper, the gardener. Everybody who was in the premises at the time was labeled a witness. We had to go to the police station for 45 minutes for pieces of paper. We filled them in and we were let go. I was swatted. Nobody was hurt. There's no human trafficking.
So you guys' hero lives to see another day, which, hey, I already saw people doing the takedown of him. So he said he was swatted. So you guys kind of wasted whole podcast on him. Was it Greta Thunberg? You know, they kind of got into a Twitter exchange the other day, those two. So interesting. But he says he was swatted. So you guys might be out of luck, whoever tried to swat him. He says the innocent man. That was Tucker Carlson that was on that. So the Cowboys won today. They played. Not shocking. The Titans seeded most of their good players. So it was 27-13. So Cowboy fans are, of course, celebrating because that's what they do. They're not going to the Super Bowl, but whatever. Let them have the little fun for now, you know. Let's see what else is going on. I really, like I said, when I download my stories, I can never remember what I am playing for you guys, but prayerfully is light. Nothing as terrible as yesterday. And if you listened to yesterday, it was a trigger warning. Let's see what's going on here. Buffalo mom details being stranded overnight at Target with 2 kids during historic blizzard, but at least they were safe. This guy was helping people during the blizzard. It's really kind of a quiet news day, shockingly, besides Andrew Tate getting swatted. Let's see what else is going on other places. Wouldn't it be amazing if we went out on our last podcast of the year with some nice, decent news? I mean, it's very possible. It's very possible. This is weird. Nearly 1,500 bats fell to the ground in Houston due to hypothermic shock. Can you imagine? So over 1,500 bats lost their grip and fell to the ground underneath a bridge in Houston after going into hypothermic shock during a recent cold front. That would totally, scare me. I would definitely think the end of the world was coming. So 3 dead after falling through the ice at an Arizona lake trying to take a picture. Do not do this, guys. They were snapping pictures when the 3 fell through the ice. Was confirmed all 3 Indian nationals, 49-year-old and a 47-year-old and his wife. Really messed up, guys. Not safe to do that. See what else is going on that's worth talking about. Bill Cosby's planning a comedy comeback in 2023. He's 85 years old. If you're interested in that, Nick Cannon welcomes his 12th baby. Yes, he's living it up and sperming it up. Other than that, guys, I think it's going to be a pretty light news day. I'm not going to dig too deep for anything too crazy. I think yesterday was kind of wild. I'm just still thinking of what I want to talk about. I know what I want to talk about, but I'm just looking at these stories, seeing if it's anything worth sharing. So, soccer legend Pele, dead at 82. He was a world famous soccer champ. Let's see what else is going on. that, like I said, I'm working hard today to try to make this a light news day. And I think it's going to be possible. I think that we are going to be able to. They did do Anne Heche's final autopsy, which reveals she had cocaine in her system at the time of her crash. Other than that, guys, I think we're going to get right into story time, because a lot of this is just repetitive news, and we don't really need that now, do we? So let's get right into our stories. Even though that live was so spicy, I might dip back in there just to see what those nuts are talking about, because they were kind of crazy. Let's go. Let's get it.
Everybody, see this right here? This is a problem. This has been a problem. 9 shootings in 24 hours. One would think that our city leaders would be screaming at the top of the mountains about this problem. But if you check the mayor's Twitter page, the only thing that you see is her going on about the interim chief, right? Who cares about the crime rate? Who cares that people are being shot at this alarming rate? Black woman! And if you thought that the recall effort was some magical hope that was going to get this whole thing done, I just want to show y'all this is what they think. You know what I'm saying? They got your ads. You know, we want to reach black people. Let's do it on World Star. This whole thing is a fucking joke.
So he's referring to New Orleans. They've had a violent few couple of days. 3 were left dead today. A rash of gun violence leaves at least 3 people dead and 3 others injured in 5 separate incidents. New Orleans police said the first shooting happened just after 11 a.m. in the 3100 block of Algiers. A man was shot at least once and taken to the hospital. Several hours later, across the Mississippi River, they were called. And then in the French Quarter. And then a 16-year-old boy was arrested quickly not too far away. So they said they are just saying that the crime is kind of getting out of hand there. The city's total for the year is 278. Last time they had this many homicides was early 2000. And he's saying they do have a black mayor, but she does not care about black people, according to this guy, Benjamin, on TikTok. So, yeah.
Things that we didn't get straight.
Okay, so let's get all the things we didn't get straight.
I want people to understand that all trans women do not hate their genitalia. All of them. And we are not jealous of women because you have vaginas. That is not true. So I need to clear that up. I'm not jealous of you because you have, I don't want a pussy. Mm-hmm. I can go to Thailand or the back of Winn-Dixie and cut this motherfucking dick up and put it inside and have a fucking pussy. I don't want that. I love women because they are women. I love women because they are earth. They are creators. I love this about women. I also want people to understand that all men are not gay, and they're all not trans attracted. But I do believe if your dick get hard, you can and will fuck.
That still is kind of clear as mud, but I can see how this kind of makes sense. But I think everybody's perception of trans, including mine, I'm still pretty dumb to it, is interesting. But here's an account, and that was TJ Madison for all those who's a famous trans person. So hopefully that lends insight to some people.
As a lawyer who works exclusively with female white-collar criminals, I've seen stories that the news will never tell. Like the time this secretary hacked into her boss's emails and made it look like his wife was cheating on her. The guy divorced his wife, and then the secretary started to make her move. They almost got married, but then he started to put the puzzle pieces together and realized something was amiss. He filed invasion of privacy charges against her, and I almost kept her out of jail. If I would have been a better lawyer, I could have got her off scot-free, but I was still new at the time, so she's still serving time at...
Okay, this is an interesting story, but you're a lawyer. What happened to confidentiality? The SEFU Don't go to him because he's on TikTok telling your business.
Oh, are you familiar with Ellen DeGeneres' show? I think it's canceled now.
Ellen DeGeneres show. She was the nastiest acting somebody I ever had to work with. She was rude, crude, evil. She was sexually abusive to the females that worked on her show. I saw this. That woman came at
But
me
that
after
wasn't
they
why I was
asked me.
bringing it up.
After they asked me to do her a favor, so her show would not be canceled for low ratings. I showed up. That woman wanted to get in my face. Didn't you hear me, Tate, to put that robe on? I said, didn't you hear me to tell you I'm here doing you a favor? We're out of here. KNBC from New York. Call me back, please, Judge. Would you do us the favor? I know she's obnoxious to deal with.
Okay, but that wasn't why I brought it up.
Yeah, well, I know he's supposed to be endorsed by her.
Right, Stephen.
Makes it suspect.
Listen.
I'm suspect.
Listen.
I'm not a good person to ask about this.
Judge Joe Brown. Yeah. I've never listened to the show, but this clip was funny. I just imagine how this is how I will be when I'm old, because I'll be retired and I won't care who I'm pissing off. And I don't know, there's so many stories about Ellen being evil, and I don't know. I'm starting to believe it. I'm starting to believe that whole thing. I definitely believe that people that appear happy all the time are freaking crazy. So, I don't know. But Judge Joe Brown is also a nutty old man, so I don't know. But this is how it will be. If I have a podcast, then I'm going to really be saying some crazy stuff. All right, let's go to the next one.
How big is your team?
Between 10, 15, up to 20 people.
And they include doctors? This is part of your team?
Well, this one doctor right here is the one who take the blood out and take him to the laboratory, so they give you the results that he's a compatible person.
Why do you go after the poor people to get their
It's
kidney?
not the poor people, because there's a plenty of people from the South that came looking for the American dream, and this stuff in here. They don't have jobs, they don't have nothing right here. So, talk to them and offer a easy solution. Because a lot of people know that you can live with only one kidney. He's gonna get out something on his body, but he will get well. I'm not a demon in there, I'm just doing my job and helping people. Get some money for do that.
So that was a Vice interview, and they were interviewing a human trafficker, and he was just saying that he goes after a lot of like immigrants and stuff like that and all that. A lot about the money. So human trafficking is very much real, and all that stuff is real. So you guys need to be really careful out there.
Cannibal killer Austin Harif has just been found not guilty of murder by reason of insanity. If you don't know, in 2016, Austin had just finished up his freshman year at Florida State, and on August 16th, he was out to dinner with his family when he suddenly got up and left without saying why. And here you can see him on security footage leaving the restaurant just after 8 p.m. He walked more than 3 miles before coming across the residence of John and Michelle Stevens, who were just enjoying the night and having a beer in their garage. And here you can see John in the garage that he'd practically transformed into a hangout for himself and his wife. But before John or Michelle could even realize what was happening, a neighbor heard awful screams coming from the driveway. Authorities responded to the scene to find 2 dead bodies and Austin attempting to eat the face of one of his victims. Authorities almost had to kill Austin because he wouldn't stop, and after his arrest, he claimed to have no memory of the murders or why he did it. In previous weeks, he reportedly went from a normal, outgoing college student to believing he was half animal and half man. Austin had actually moved his bed into their family's garage to avoid demons and would patrol the house at night instead of sleeping. At the time, he had just trace amounts of marijuana and alcohol in his system, and the prosecution actually agreed that he was truly in a psychotic episode at the time of the attack. This week, a judge officially ruled that Austin wouldn't be held criminally responsible for the murders. He'll be held in a psychiatric institution until he is deemed not to be a threat to society.
I don't know how he'll be deemed not to be a threat to society when he was practically normal before that happened. And this is my thing on mental health and therapy and all that. I feel like people can just snap at any moment. That's why you have to be self-aware of your mental health. Therapy, I'm not anti-therapy, But I'm just saying, like, just like we work out and take care of our bodies, something can still happen. Like, you can freaking eat a freaking strawberry and it can take you down. Like, anybody could be affected by mental health, any kind of health. So, I don't know. Just be careful. People, I feel like everybody's suffering from something for real, mentally, and physically. Let's go to the next one.
I didn't mean to kill Austin. Actually, I really didn't. I really think I did that. I didn't mean to hurt him.
Dylan Shoemaker walked into a state Supreme courtroom pleading his case, telling his victim's mother and the court he's remorseful for what he did. Shoemaker was sentenced Friday for beating 23-month-old Austin Smith last March. Before the sentence was handed down, Shoemaker and his defense attorney fought for the minimum sentence, 15 years to life.
I can't take back what was done. I wish I could. I would give my life for Austin. I loved him a lot.
Austin Smith was completely defenseless. That's a given. But there were other dynamics at work there, including my client's inability to either control his anger or frustration and his inexperience in babysitting.
Based on his short life now, what is to say he won't do this again?
Well, we don't know that. I think it's completely unlikely. It was a situational, circumstantial thing.
In Judge M. William Bowler's last words to Shoemaker, he told the now 17-year-old that in his short life, he's caused so much despair to so many people. Bowler said he listened intently to Shoemaker's testimony during trial and called him a manipulator who minimizes his actions.
The record will show that you admitted that on July 23rd, 2013, in a phone call to your mother from the holding center, you stated, and I got a quote from the court reporter, "I am a 16-year-old blonde. Probably all I have to do is cry in front of the jury, and they're going to feel sorry for me," end quote.
Afterwards, Shoemaker was sentenced to 25 years to life behind bars.
So this story, full story is on BuffaloNews.com. So teenager sentenced to lengthy prison term for killing his girlfriend's 23-month-old son. He was the teenager who fatally beat his girlfriend's 23-month-old son. Told the judge that he did not intend to kill her. I never wanted to hurt him. I never wanted him to die. And so that was his apology. Jurors who convicted Shoemaker of secondary murder last month didn't buy it. Neither did the Supreme Court justice. He was sentenced to 25 years to life in prison. At 16, you knew right from wrong. Bowler told Shoemaker, who turned 17 this week. Shoemaker previously testified he put a pillow on the back of Austin's head and pushed it to stop him from crying and waking his baby brother. The March 19th attack occurred while he was babysitting Austin and Austin's 3-month-old brother. Shoemaker lived with his mother along with Ashley Smith and her 2 sons in his mother's home on Cochran Avenue. He was 16 at the time. Neither of the children was his. The judge called the trial testimony gut-wrenching. Witnesses described the attack and Austin's extensive head injuries that led to brain bleeding in the toddler's death. The judge said the last minutes of Austin's life must have been terrifying. He loved you, he trusted you, and you betrayed him. The judge questioned Shoemaker's testimony at trial, and he did not intend to kill. Bowler called Shoemaker a manipulator and deceiver, and then that's when you heard that slip, that whole thing about the text and everything. And the judge also noted in the text that he tried to set up a sexual tryst with the girl and sell drugs as friends. But when the texting stopped, the beating started. For a 17-year-old, Shoemaker has caused so much pain and grief for so many people. He said he received letters from 13 people describing how Shoemaker's crime impacted them. The night of March 19th, my family's life was decimated because this didn't have to happen, Michael Smith, Austin's grandfather, told the judge in court. He had numerous opportunities to get out the house and seek help, but he didn't. Smith asked the judge to consider his family's feelings. We'll never get Austin back, he said, crying. This didn't have to happen. He was just prescribed medicine to treat his anger and ADHD, but he chose not to take it. This story is kind of wild because I'm just like, his mom taking the mom, Ashley Smith, and her children into his mother's home. I was trying to do what my father didn't do. Yeah, but you were 16, and I don't know how your mom thought that you were ready for that, dude. Man. Very sad. Very sad, and I just wonder what his mother felt, because I'm like, you really thought your son was ready to raise somebody else's children? 2 kids at that? Under 2? Eesh. What is wrong with people? This is a sad story, but I cannot believe his mother thought he was ready to parent 2 kids under 2, let alone that wasn't even his. Like, I get y'all want to help people, but sometimes you're doing worse damage, like, for real. Let's get to the next one.
He was like pretending like he was my boyfriend and all that kind of stuff, and so then he was getting me hotel rooms and paying for dinners and like buying me clothes, and then probably like 2 weeks into it, he told me that I had to pay him back for everything, and obviously I didn't have money to do that, you know. Yeah. And so he opened a door to a hotel room, and there was 12 other girls in there, and he pretty much told me that his bottom bitch was going to show me what to do and how to do it, and because I had never prostituted before that, you know, so it was really scary. I wasn't allowed to talk to my mom, my family, any of that kind of stuff, and so he took us to a whole different state just to make sure that there's like no contact with any of our families, you know, so.
Pimpin' 101.
I had a woman dying from COVID confess something really heart-wrenching to me. She told me that when she was a teenager, she told her mother that one of the local black boys had touched her behind the grocery store. And in 1936 Louisiana, this was a very big deal. Not only was this boy lynched, but he was beaten, and his genitals were cut off. And then the family home was burned to the ground. And she watched it all happen. You want to know why? Because she saw that his sisters had prettier dresses than she did, and she just didn't like it. So she lied. And then it clicked. This same woman had been hallucinating for the past couple of days, saying that there was a black boy in her room watching her, would not stop staring at her, and she was scared shitless. She asked if she could be forgiven. I told her the only person who could forgive her was the boy she killed. Not sorry.
So that thread was about people, like they said, nursing never prepares you for so many people to confess of like murder and crime on their deathbed. So that was a wild one.
Ooh, T-Talk, I gotta get this one off my chest. Let me tell y'all something about these black people out here in London. I don't like them. I don't like them. You know what? I can't even put shit on my head because I gotta get this one off my chest. The difference between Africans and African Americans could not be more clear to me. These bitches out here, I gotta pour up a drink. Just 1 second. Let me just fucking start by saying that it ain't no sense of fucking unity out here. Now, in America, I can go anywhere and I can feel real comfortable talking to any black person, no matter what type of black person you is. Rich, poor, fat, skinny, tall, short, it don't matter. Over here, I was ready. Oh, shit. I was ready to knock all their asses out. Listen, these motherfuckers act like y'all not the same color over here. Damn, look what I did to my finger. Damn. Fuck. I've been over here trying to navigate getting around, and when I stop and try to ask motherfuckers for help, motherfuckers just been looking at me crazy as if like I'm beneath them or something. And then the few ones that I have talked to, I just be like, damn, where's the fucking unity over here? Like, what's going on? And they be like, oh no, we're all kind of just like to ourselves. We don't really say much to each other. And that be our motherfucking issue right now. That's why these bastards be over here talking about y'all and saying whatever and whatnot. Because y'all bastards don't take up for yourself. And not only do y'all not take up for yourselves, y'all don't take up for each other. Would not fly in the States. Period. It was this one bald head bitch, y'all. I was in the train station. I was trying to get directions from her, y'all. She tooted her fucking nose up at me. Bitch, I will drag you by your motherfucking hair follicles on your scalp. Like, for real, y'all, she looked at me with disgust. And here I am coming up being all friendly, finally happy to talk to a black person. And I'm like, damn, bitch, I'll really two-piece your bald head ass. I was telling somebody, like, this is the product of y'all not really coming together as one. You let these motherfuckers trick y'all into thinking that, I don't even know how to fucking explain it, y'all. Now, America's history ain't peaches and cream, but one thing's for certain and two things for sure. We black people got each other's backs in our fucking country. To hell with this shit over here. I'll line all y'all motherfuckers up and bulldoze through all y'all bitches. And then ship your bodies back to the country you came from.
So he is not liking the black people in London, clearly. Interesting. What the crock? I don't know. Did they say crock over there? A bottle of water. I don't know. Don't get mad at me, UK people. That's my accent.
So for those of you who are new to my channel, my name is Ashley. Hi. A few years ago, unfortunately, I tried to, you know what I'm saying? It wasn't successful and I was committed. That is still on my record. In the state of North Carolina, if you have any mental or emotional things like that on your record, you're basically, to the state, legally and mentally, emotionally unstable. Which means that I could not register for a concealed carry. Also, if I register to have an emotional support animal, that's a number 2 tick on my record that also does not allow me to register for a conceal and carry. I am a grown woman who lives alone, who will be moving to a totally new part of town by myself, which means that I will need a blicky. Ashton has gone to a wonderful home. He is wonderfully taken care of. I didn't just drop him off to anybody. But if you don't follow me because I chose to make sure that I moved to a nicer neighborhood and could protect myself and made sure Ashton went to a nicer home, bitch, I don't give a fuck.
So I shared that video because I did not know that. So those are things that you guys should take into account. Not that I recommend ever offing yourself, but if you do, like, those are things like if you are a registered, like, what is it, 5150 or something, like having to have committed suicide or even getting emotional support dogs, they won't let you get a weapon. So take those things into account. Like I said, never kill yourself, but these are some of the downfalls of doing that. It's not a grass greener. It's the more you know. Both are terrible. I hope that this girl's mental health improves. And to whoever was giving her hate for giving up her dog, like, come on. People are weird. All right, this is our last one. Let's hope it's good, because I don't know. Let's see.
I was pregnant at the time. I was about 7.5 months when I started receiving phone calls from an unknown number. When I answered it, the lady sounded really nice. She was very soft-spoken. She told me that she worked for a program that helped out pregnant women and who were in need. She said, we have clothes and we have a storage area where we keep the clothes and car seats, and you can come and pick out whatever you want. I was really excited, really excited. My husband, PJ, was pretty concerned. His main worry was that he didn't know the individual, and he just was like, don't rush into anything that you really don't know about. So I got comfortable, and she came in and she turned some movies on. She had put on a movie. Then my husband called me. And he's like, man, where you at? So I'm like, I'm fine. Because at this point, I don't really know where I'm at. After I hung up with my husband, we were sitting there and we were talking. And she put on Precious, the movie Precious. It was a bootleg copy of Precious. And we were watching that. And all of a sudden, she threw this heavy quilted blanket. She threw it over the back of my head and started beating me in the head. After she hit me about 10 times, I jumped up and I threw my hands up, you know, in a motion like this, and all I could see was blood.
So I remember the story. This is one of these I survived stories, and yeah, she had went over this woman's house to get some baby furniture and ended up getting attacked by the woman, and the woman like cut her baby out, and she survived. Unfortunately, I believe her baby did, but her baby had some injury. But yeah, sorry, that was my last story. That was bad. I didn't want it to end on that. But the mom survived. I'm giving you awkward silence. I was trying to end on a good note, guys. I really was. I don't know. This is the last podcast of the year, and I just want to wish you guys some amazing good luck. I'm going to read this to you. In 2023, a new anointing is coming to your life. It's called Cut Them Off Anointing. Not everybody is your assignment. Not everyone is your friend. Some people are used by Satan to drain you mentally, emotionally, and financially. Pray and share Jesus with them, but revoke that access. Revoke that access in 2023. Yes, that's a word. Yes, I'm sending y'all out with positivity. Yes, I love you. Yes, I'll see you next year. Yes, F is for Family is signing off. Toodles.